Most small businesses don't fail because of lack of talent, hard work, or even demand. They fail because they're built on a broken foundation. That's what Michael E. Gerber uncovered in his legendary book, The E Myth: Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work and What to Do About It. The book absolutely changed how I think about business. I first read it while struggling to grow without burnout, and it was like I was holding up a mirror to every mistake that I was making. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 9 core lessons from the E Myth book that every founder, freelancer, coach, or consultant needs to hear. And if you want to scale without losing your sanity, this book is for you. Lesson 1: the E Myth itself is called the entrepreneurial myth. It is the belief that if you're good at something, you can build a successful business doing that thing. You're a great designer, a great coach, a killer copywriter, so you start a business. But the truth is, being good at the work is not the same as being able to be good at building a business around the work that you like. That is the fatal assumption. I learned this the hard way. In my early days, I was basically freelancing under the banner of a business owner. No systems, no structure, just me hustling. If you've already feels familiar, don't worry, you're not alone. I talk about this stuff every week here on Business Growth Talks, helping small business owners like you build smarter, better businesses. So if you're building something that you really want to be able to grow and learn about that on strategies on this channel, hit the subscribe button and let's get going. Back to it. Lesson 2. According to Gerber, every founder plays 3 different roles: the technician, who does the work, the manager, who creates the order, and the entrepreneur, who drives vision and growth. Most of us stay trapped in the technician role. We deliver the work, fix problems, reply to clients, do everything ourselves. And this is a problem when you're a consultant, when you're an expert and you start a business. Unless you want to keep it as a solopreneur business, then if you want something more, if you want to build a bigger business, then this is going to be important for you. You need to move away from the technician role. But here's the issue: the technician role builds a job. The entrepreneur builds a business. And if you don't learn how to manage all the 3 roles, the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur, you're going to have a really big problem. And you're just going to get into a cycle of working harder and harder without real growth. Lesson 3. This one hit me really hard. Gerber said, if your business depends on you, you don't own a business, you own a job. And it's the worst job in the world. So I worked as a corporate employee, but when I was trying to find my path after I left corporate, I was working on things that I was still the technician, and it ended up being a job. I didn't build a business, and that was really signifying for me. And I actually read this book a number of years ago, but when I started my entrepreneurial journey, I actually went back to this book, remembering the important lessons, and this is why I'm doing this video now. You have to carve out time to work on the business, designing systems, setting goals, building structure, not just putting out fires or answering emails. Even just one focused hour a week thinking strategically can be a game changer for you as a business owner. Lesson 4. This is the beating heart of the E-myth. Building systems, not dependence. Systems will set you free. Look at McDonald's. It's not about quality, it's about consistency. Any 17-year-old kid can run the operations because it's systemized. You don't need a franchise level system just to start repeatable tasks. Things like client onboarding, proposal templates, leading follow-up workflows. That's what I've done at Podcast Instruction. For kickoff calls to placements to content repurposing, there are systems in place to do most of the heavy lifting to free me up to be able to think about the growth of the business. Number 5, creating a turnkey operation. Gerber's advice is build your business like you're going to franchise it, even if you never do. It's not about a cookie cutter service. It's about creating a model so that it's clear and reliable that someone else could step in and run it and deliver consistent value. This mindset forces you to think differently. You start designing your business like a product, not just like a service. And this is really important. It's documenting things, putting down systems in processes, so that if you're away, so I was away last week, I released a video about me being away from the business and how it could still continue, because I documented everything and I had the right people in place to be able to do the doing. And then I just was able to just do some very high level KPIs and leading the team so that the business could continue while I was unavailable. Lesson 6, innovate, quantify, and orchestrate. These are Gerber's 3 pillars of business development. Innovation, finding better ways to serve or operate. Quantification, measuring what works and what doesn't. And orchestrate, systemizing what works so that it happens every single time. It's simple, but powerful. I'll give you an example. Innovation. We trialed video pitches to podcast hosts. It didn't work, but it was a really good way of us forcing ourselves to be able to move from the pitch, which was documented as written, and we trialed a couple of video pitches. And now what we've ended up doing is, part of our pitch, we then put in videos of previous episodes that our clients have been on. And that was where we innovated and differentiated ourselves in the market. Quantification, tracking acceptance rates before and after. So we were looking at what people were buying and when they were buying, and also when we were successful at positioning and placing people on the shows, we were able to see where those acceptances were and then be able to quantify it. Orchestrate, adding it as a SOP because it worked. That's how you build momentum in your business. Quick question for you. Which of these 3 roles, the technician, the manager, or the entrepreneur, do you spend most of your time in? Let me know in the comments below. Please be honest about this. This is one way that you can really reflect and see where you are positioned at the moment, and it could be a great way of being able to really boost your growth. Lesson 7, document everything. If it's not written down, it's not a system. You need to start creating documentation, checklists, template, scripts. Even if it's a little bit rough, this is about helping you hire. It also helps you when you stop reinventing the wheel. You'll make fewer mistakes, save time, and feel less scattered. So I did a presentation earlier this week, and it was a presentation to a community, and I was talking about podcast guesting. And I already had a slide deck, a number of slide decks that I was able to use and be able to get the right ones for this particular presentation that I was doing. If I hadn't have created those documents, if I hadn't created the scripts, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I actually forgot I was doing it, and that's why it was really late on, and I had the script and I had the presentation already in place. Think about that. If it's not documented, it's not a process or a system that people can follow. And it saves you time. Lesson 8, define clear roles even if you're the only employee. So one of the most overlooked lessons in the book is the idea of an organization chart for one. Even if you're a solopreneur, and I know some of you guys that are watching this and listening to this are solopreneurs, it is still important to define every function within your business. Things like your marketing, your sales, your delivery, your finances. Assign it as a name to each different section of the roles that you make. It helps you clarify on what's being neglected and what needs to be delegated first. When I did this, it was obvious that marketing and admin were draining me. So it was the first thing that I systemized and was able to outsource. Lesson 9, your business is a reflection of you. Gerber closes the loop by reminding us that your business will grow in the direction proportional to your own personal development. If you're disorganized, your business will be as well. If you're afraid to say no, your calendar will be chaos. And if you have no systems, you'll be stuck in the same place a year from now. Reading this book didn't just change my business, it changed how I see myself as a business owner. So it really is that really important book that was just inspirational, motivational, and it was a great way of being able to be honest with myself about what I was doing as a business owner and how I was going to grow my business. Look, the E-Myth isn't a motivational book in its most core sense. There are other books that give you an inspirational side, but it's a blueprint. And if you're serious about growth, I cannot recommend it enough. If you want to build a business that works for you, not because of you, read this book and then start applying just one lesson. Maybe do one lesson a week. And if you're ready to scale with your visibility and credibility without spending your life on social media, check out what we do at podcastintroduction.com. We help founders like you get on podcasts, tell your story, and generate leads with systems that actually scale. So if this video has helped, please do hit the subscribe button. Watch this next one on the screen now to help you build smarter, more scalable businesses. I'll see you in the next one.